have you stand right there. Perfect turnaround. Excellent. All right, guys, I count 3. Pull out your flashlights, pull out your cameras, hold up your stars. I count 3, take some photos. 1, 2, 3, go ahead.
What's up, Salt Lake? You know, it's Thursday. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I thought there'd be 4 people. I was wrong. Well, you guys don't work?
This is their job. But you know, we're going to start taking questions in a matter of seconds, so I would encourage everyone who wants to ask a question, come on up to that microphone, because we've all seen how this works before. This hour is going to go by very quickly, and if you're at the back of the line, you might not get to ask. So come on up, don't be shy. We've only got 1 person. We can do much better than that. We'll start with it. Oh, the line's over there. I'm so dumb. Okay, sorry. Just jump right in. I'll quit wasting your time.
Hey, good afternoon.
Thank you.
What's your name?
My name is Mark.
Mark, how you doing, Mark?
Very good, thank you. Towards the mid to late seasons, you got to direct as well as write several episodes. What was your favorite?
No. I declined to direct. Our cast was, I don't want to say difficult, but our cast was difficult. And not in a bad way. I mean, it was fun for us. It was fun for the crew. Probably wasn't too fun for the director that had to make his days. So yeah, I was never really interested in directing us. I did write it, yes. Go to the mic.
What was your favorite episode?
My favorite episode that I wrote. All of them. I really did enjoy all of them. I mean, my favorite has to be Changeling, because it was the first episode that I wrote top to bottom by myself, and it brought back some of my friends to the show. So I mean, that probably you know, I met my wife that episode. So yeah, that was probably my favorite. If I didn't say it was my favorite episode. No, the one with all the women, that was my favorite episode. No, Changeling, yeah, it was my favorite episode. Thank you.
Awesome, next question.
So in the crossover...
And your name is?
Denise.
You were just gonna start in the middle, like we've been talking. So,
So in the crossover episode of Midway, if
Yes.
Carter hadn't have broken it up, who do you think would have won, Teal'c or Ronan?
Probably the better looking guy. Jason. You know, I always give an answer that, well, I would like to think that Teal'c, because of his maturity and his wealth of experiences, would have found a way to overcome Ronan's superior size and strength. Well, that's all bull. Hopefully Teal'c would have been smart enough to not continue the fight. See, the scenes that were cut out was Teal'c going, Carter, 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 Carter. Thank you.
Hi, Christopher. My name is Scotty. On the cast of SG-1, did you have any good practical jokes or inside jokes between you and the other cast members?
Well, I don't know how many of them were inside, but we did have, well, when you say we, do you mean me?
Yeah, did you pull any, or were there ones pulled on you?
Well, you know, I did a couple. I would kind of go in stages, so I would get hooked on one thing and I would do it to everyone, like, for like 6 months. There was the period where I saran wrapped people's toilets. Yeah, all of our guest stars, because call times will be really early, so no one checks to see if their toilet papers, if their toilet is saran wrapped at 5:30 in the morning. You just get a surprise. Then I went through a half a season where I would just duct tape people to stuff. It started with Teal'c, Dr. Frazier. I don't know if any of you have met Teal'c or seen interviews with Teal'c. Teal'c is the bubbliest person you will ever meet in your life. She's always positive, she's always uplifting, she's always a bundle of joy. But at 6 o'clock in the morning, that doesn't go over so well. So, this one particular morning, I don't know what state I was in, probably hungover. She was particularly annoying this morning, and I was thinking how I'm gonna get her for this. And so we were outside shooting on location, and she was standing by a tree, and the dolly was there, and they had duct tape on it. So, because you know, when you duct tape someone, once you get the first wrap, it's all over. Once you get the first revolution, it's all over. So I got that first revolution and then proceeded to use 4 more rolls on it. Oh, it took about a half hour to cut her out. Everyone laughed but the producers and director. So then I don't know, things get stuck in my mind and I can't let it go. So then I just started duct taping everyone. So that went on for about half a season. And yeah, but they did, you know, they did a couple, you know, they got me back a couple times. So I'm a golfer. I enjoy golf. So we were playing at this course in North Van, which is kind of up in the mountains. So I hit a shot, I was celebrating, I turn around right into a bear. And I mean right into a bear. So I take off running, you know, I don't know about all that stuff. Make yourself big. I ran. And so I get to the golf cart and I'm looking back at the bear, but then I hit a curb and the golf cart goes on 2 wheels, it almost tips over, it doesn't. So I panicked, the rest of the round is blown, da-da-da. So I was playing with our set decorator, our set designer. So I figured this. Okay, let me ask you something. For some reason in Vancouver, when you encounter a bear, somehow terror is not the appropriate reaction. I've never understood that. But, so I thought, because I'm playing golf with dudes who are supposed to be at work, no one will ever find out. First thing they did was went back to set and told everybody. So now this was the running joke forever. So a couple weeks later, we're shooting up in these same mountains right around the corner from the golf course that I was playing at. So I'm in my trailer and there's, you know, a knock on the door. Chris, you're wanted on set. I said, well, I'm not even in this scene. Like, what? I don't know, they want you on set. Okay, so I come out and there's a group of crew talking and they're like looking. So I'm like walking by, I'm like, what's wrong with these dudes? So then I go over and I think it's Deloise, I'm not sure if it was maybe it's Martin Wood, and Shanks, and just assorted people. And they're all talking, so I come up and then all of a sudden they just all stop and look. I'm like, what are you guys all looking at? And so I look where they're looking, and this bear comes, what I thought was a bear. It was one of the crew members. They had gone and rented a bear suit. So when they caught up to me a mile down the road, yeah, so there was lots of hijinks on the set.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm Michael.
Hey, Michael.
So I was
Hey, I
wondering,
like your outfit now. That's nice.
so
I
when-
think every man should wear a cape.
it's Japan.
That's lovely.
When they auctioned off the Stargate props, I bought a whole bunch.
Oh, that's a real one?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So,
That might have some of my DNA on it. There are lots of things that went on in the trailers. That, did I tell you I met my wife on that? I'm sorry, I'll go ahead. I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, I know. I feel like they took it the wrong way. You didn't say it.
Can't get past the fact that my DNA might be all.
depends if you use the cape. So, what do you think happened to Teal'c after the movies and the series was over? Like, what did he end up doing that you feel personally?
It's funny you should ask. No, it's have you guys all heard about Stargate Command.co? You guys all heard about that? Look, I'm gonna answer your question. So this is all for real. So I don't know if you know, I'm hosting kind of a co-hosting kind of a 20-year retrospective where we're gonna talk to all three casts, talk to writers, producers, DOPs, stunt coordinators, give you a full kind of 20-year behind the scenes look at the three shows in the Stargate franchise. We started taping last week, and our first two interviews were Tony Amendola and Carmen Argenziano. It's fantastic. So we are going headlong into that, and also on Stargate Command.co will be we're preparing a 10 minutes per episode Stargate Origins, and depending on your reaction to it, that could reopen the entire Stargate franchise. And truly, it's not lip service. I've sat in on some of the stuff and had meetings, and the guys at MGM now, we actually have dudes who are who are sci-fi fans, who are Stargate fans, and really are very open to continuing the saga in one form or another. So so to your question, after we do, all the interviews and everything that's put up on StargateCommand.co, I'm actually going in with my partner, and we're going to be pitching a variety of things. But one of the things is tentatively titled right now, Return of the Jaffa. And that will actually deal with what happens to Teal'c and the Jaffa Nation after they've achieved their freedom and all that. So hopefully my reply to you will be on film. But I want to say it again, Stargate.co for once, I don't know how many times you've heard this out of Hollywood, but I give you my word, the future of the Stargate franchise is in your hands. So either go to StargateCommand.co, or I will be updating as we do more and more, and I'll share snippets of the interviews and some of the stuff we're doing on at my Twitter site. I am Chris Judge. Thank you.
Hi, Christopher. I'm Eva.
Hi, Eva.
I wanted to ask.
Forever, Eva?
Exactly. Yes, that.
I'm sure that's the first time you've ever heard that.
Usually they sing it, but that's okay.
That's interesting.
Please no.
Wow!
Sorry, I'm just being honest. I feel comfortable here. So I'm gonna get to my question. My question is, have you ever had to...
No more indeeds for you.
Have you ever had to work on your birthday? And if so, did the cast do something special or funny?
For everyone's birthday on Stargate, everyone got a cake. Every single person, crew, producers, actors, whatever, everyone got cakes. My birthday would generally fall the week after we would finish production for the year. So, Joe Malazzi and I, or was it Coop? No, maybe it was Coop. Anyway, our birthdays are a few days apart. So we started kind of a thing where we would go to Vegas and golf and celebrate our birthdays down there. So, but yeah, we're very attentive to people's birthdays, their kids' birthdays, their families' birthdays. So yeah, our set was great about that. You know, if you have to work on your birthday, we're gonna make it the best day we can for you. You know, so yeah, we were very attentive to that. Thank you. Goodbye, Emma. I was gonna sing you off, but I guess not. Yeah, but they usually sing it. Emma.
Hey, I'm Tom. You can sing me off when I'm done.
Hey, Tom.
Good. So my question was going to be about the reboot. You answered it. Thank you. Happy. Paid my $20 for the site. Let me ask you this. What was your favorite episode that was Teal'c-centric?
That was Teal'c-centric. Wow. You know, God, I hated doing it, but Italian, there was a lot of meaty stuff in there. Stuff. I like stuff. So Italian, I hated doing because I forgot his name, but you know, really established actor, but he's kind of methody. So when you see him choking me, he's really choking me. So I had to go tell, it was Andy Makita, look, I don't mind, but we're not even on camera and he's choking me. So can you tell him to ease up just a bit? So yeah, I enjoyed that one. Gosh, you know, it was difficult. See, and I don't want to sound self-centered, but it's kind of the ones I wrote because that's why I wrote them. Well, not if you're the president. The thing with Jaffa episodes, they were costly, and you have to write Jaffa dialogue the way Jaffa speak. So most of the writers didn't like to do that. So in the beginning, we had Damien Kindler, who went on to do the show with Amanda, and Peter DeLuise. So when Kindler left, that left only DeLuise to write Jaffa episodes. And then as DeLuise directing more and more and more, he didn't have time to write a lot of episodes. So that's when Brad Wright, our creator, executive producer, came to me and said, if you want Teal'c stories, you have to write them. So that was kind of the genesis of me writing.
Were you a writer before that, or you have any ambition for it? It just came up like that?
No, I had actually written before that, but I'm not even sure Brad knew that. So it was such a out-of-body experience to have a writer come tell you to write, because I don't know the last time I've taken money out of my pocket to tell another actor, hey, you go play Luke Cage, So it was just such an unselfish act. And then the writers, writing for an episodic, it's a process. It's generally not one guy who sits and writes an episode. It's a group of writers. You beat out the story. You spitball acts. It's a whole process. They actually allowed me to go away, write it on my own, and then bring back the whole episode. So in the beginning, I turned it in, and then it was our 2-week hiatus. So I gave one copy to Brad, and I gave a copy to Martin Wood, because he was going to be directing it. So for the entire 2 weeks, I never heard a word. So rather than enjoying myself for these 2 weeks, it was 2 weeks of self-loathing. Because obviously, if it had been good, they would have called me right away to tell me how good it was. So literally, we're starting work that Monday. My wife has convinced me to leave the fetal position and leave the house. So we come back that Sunday, and there's a message from Brad and a message from Martin saying how much they enjoyed the episode. So and they just, and Brad allowed me to write without budget in mind, which he quickly rescinded my next episodes. Yeah, truly, when I wrote Birthright, I think the comment was, when I turned it in, the comment was, "This is unproducible." So I kind of had to, cut back on Rome Burns. So yeah, it was, but yeah, those kind of were, because, it's kind of things I wanted to see Teal'c doing. So yeah. Hey, thank you.
Hi, my name is Michael. It's Michael?
Michael,
I love your pants, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
My question for you was...
Loudmouth Golf. Loudmouthgolf.com.
My question for you was, how were you approached about being Kratos, and what was it like being Kratos in the God of War series?
Well, I wasn't approached about it. It was, the audition process. The audition process for Kratos was much tougher than the process for Teal'c. I mean, literally, Teal'c I put on tape once, and I screen tested. That was it. For Kratos, I went in a bunch of times, and then I didn't know this at the time, but I had to do chemistry tests with Sonny, the young man who plays my son, and as Sonny likes to tell it, he is responsible for me being Kratos, because literally they went on the chemistry between whoever and Sonny, because Sonny had already been cast, and truly what Sonny wanted, who Sonny wanted to be Kratos. And so, you know, I have boys, so I knew how to relate to a 10-year-old. And so it truly came about that way. It was a much more difficult process than Teal'c. And the second part of your question was? It's, you know, I had never done motion capture before, so it's tougher than acting. I mean, it's acting and then some. Because when you are acting, there are two sides to a scene. You decide where you're on camera and the side where you're off camera. There's wide shots, but you usually save your performance for your close-up. Well, in motion capture, there's 80 cameras overhead following you. There's a camera in your face, and then a cameraman following you. So you don't have any takes off. So I remember when we first started shooting, I couldn't believe how much more tired I was at the end of the shooting day, just because you're always on. And I've just gained such a great respect for actors that can do it well. I mean, what's the cat's name? Who's the cat? The CG. Andy Serkis. Andy, yes, Andy. I have such a respect for his mastery of it. And I mean, gone are the days where these were just kind of voiceover jobs that, no, they're full on acting jobs. So we're nearing the end of it. So now I'm doing all the kind of chasing the action. You know, I don't know if you guys saw that clip of Hugh Jackman doing Wolverine. That's tough too. You're doing these fight scenes against yourself and following the action up on the screen. And but it's great. And I've seen most of it because I was in it. And it's gonna blow your minds. It's gonna, if you are God of War fans and anyone who wants to check out something new, it's still God of War, and then some. So I'm very excited about it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tyson.
Hey, Tyson.
My question actually related to your creative process. You're obviously somebody who's very enthusiastic, and how did you get into the
or ADHD? Either one. Creative, ADHD. Either one.
You've got to get into a certain headspace to be the actor. How did you get into the headspace of Teal'c, who happens to be somebody who's very stoic?
I joke about this, but I truly did think of my first wife. And I've been reluctant to say it because then she'll want a piece of my salary. I didn't know Salt Lake City was that dirty. Ricky, I truly am just like, I'm a happy person. I don't run around like frowning, so in constructing that character, I could tell by the process during screen test that they really didn't know what they wanted. There were, at the screen test, there were 3 Daniel Jacksons, 3 Carters, 3 General Hammonds, and 10 Teal'cs. There were white Teal'cs, Asian Teal'cs, Hispanic Teal'cs, couple black Teal'cs, One of the black ones got it. So we had 2 screen tests that day. We had one for MGM, and we had one for Showtime. So after the MGM screen test, they read off the names of the people who wouldn't be continuing on to the Showtime screen test. So as people are leaving, now they're doing this, talk about being humiliated, they're doing this in front of all the actors, calling out the people who, and then you had to leave in front of everyone. So as they're calling out names, you know, there's Daniel Jackson leaves, Teal'c leaves, Carter leaves, 2 Teal'cs leave, General Hammond leaves, 3 Teal'cs leave, until there's 2 Carters, 2 Daniel Jacksons, 2 Hammonds, and Bigorra, only 1 Teal'c. So in my mind, I'm thinking, if I don't screw this up, I might have this. So then, So then Brad came over and said, look, just do what you just did, and you're Teal'c. So I did, kind of. It all works out. So now we go up there and we're everyone has a one-on-one meeting with the writers, producers, creators about their characters. Well, they literally said, we don't know. They literally said, we hired you because you seem to have the best take of it. And I kind of, like, truly, in the beginning, I just wanted him to seem alien. So the whole time I was little, I would mimic Spock. Seriously, raising my And I always liked the way that Michael Dorn, had played Worf. Very solid and still a minimum of movement. So I kind of incorporated those. And back then, I don't know if you guys have seen the original pilot, but I got into my mind, like I was telling you, I can't let things go, that Teal'c should sound like Yul Brynner in The King and I. So when we remastered the pilot, I dubbed my entire voice performance. And Brad was asking me, he's like, you know, I've never asked you this before, but were you doing Yul Brynner in The King and I? Yes! Yes, I was! And he's like, why? I don't know! So yeah, it was just a process. You know, and a lot of it, I was helped along the way. About the 3rd episode, Shanks comes up to me, and Shanks says, well, why do you grimace all the time? Why is he always grimacing? And I was like, well, because he's constantly thinking about what he left behind. He's thinking about his freedom of his people. He said, well, stop, because you look stupid. So I stopped. But you know, it was a lot of trial and error. I mean, that's how a lot of things, I don't know if you guys have heard how have you guys heard how Kel Noreemi came about? So, in the early days of the show, so during this conversation with the producers, I had said, I think Teal'c should talk less. I said, because then, first of all, what would he be able to put into these Earth conversations? He doesn't know anything about Earth, da-da-da. And I said, then everything he says is important. It has gravitas. Now, I didn't know that they would take that as far as they did. Indeed. Thank you, O'Neill. You are correct, Uncle Jackson. And that was about it. So, while the rest of the cast had to burn the midnight oil learning their lines, I was free to engage in other pursuits. So, Vancouver has a thriving nightlife, and I partook in all of it. And a lot of the times, I would come to work not having slept. So I believe it was Peter DeLuise's first episode. We're at the briefing room table. Everyone's in the scene. Everyone talks, except Teal'c. So this is a 6-7 page scene. I fell asleep. So I hear from behind the monitor, DeLuise, Chris, because that's the way he talks. Are you sleeping? And I sat bolt upright and I said, what? I said, no. Teal'c has just left his people. He's left his wife. He's left his child. Why would he be concerned about this earth business? I said he was meditating. So I hear from behind the monitor, oh, sorry. The next episode, they had written in meditation scenes. Which, if you notice, became more and more elaborate over the years. So not only were they saying, go out, they were saying, we'll help you recover.
How are you? My name is Garrett.
Hey, Garrett.
You have a magnificent voice, by the way.
Why, thank you.
My question has to do with your, how do I put this? Your personal...
Intelligence.
Well, there's that, but...
Beauty. Je ne sais quoi.
Love for fun. We'll put it that way. Your personal love for fun and the character's stoic attitude. Did that cause any, like, massive outtakes that you can think of or cause problems?
Well, quite a few. You know, I like to, we did an episode called Ergo. And we were blessed to have the legendary Dom DeLuise. Dom took a liking to me, which in most cases would be great. But Dom made it his mission to make me break as Teal'c, to make me laugh every single scene. So if you watch the episode, there's very little Teal'c in there because Mr. DeLuise was successful. You know, in the early days, I found it was really difficult because he is so diametrically opposed to who I am as a person. But later on, I tried to, in Teal'c's mind, he's the funniest guy on Teal'c. In Teal'c's mind, he has the greatest sense of humor in the universe. He thinks it's O'Neill who's not funny. He thinks it's everyone else who's not funny. And he thinks because they're not funny, they don't get his sense of humor. So that's kind of what I had to put in there to kind of keep me from going crazy. That in my mind, I found humor in a lot of the situations that, you know, just went by everybody else. So that's kind of where I kind of try to approach it from. But yes, there were, I literally, and it wasn't just me, it was anyone. And if you were, like, our set was like, if you had a story to tell, we would hold up set. We would hold up shooting. The only requirement, it had to be funny. You know, and it was carte blanche for everyone. We put laughter almost beyond everything. You know, and so it was great that way. So yeah, it was tough sometimes to rein us in. You know, so I mean, and that really speaks back to why I had no desire to direct the episodes I wrote. Thank you.
Hi, Chris. My name is Matt.
Hey, Matt.
So I just have to say this, just because.
Do you have to?
Teal'c, what's with the hair?
You know, I have vowed after that 7-year torture, shaving my head, that I'm just not gonna cut my hair until somebody pays me to. And like literally, I don't take many jobs anymore anyway. I mean, I've been very open about I enjoy sci-fi and fantasy. So I enjoy working in sci-fi. I just don't, and this is no slight no to anyone else. I don't enjoy procedurals. I don't enjoy acting in procedurals. I don't enjoy that kind of stuff. It just doesn't stimulate me as an actor. I mean, I tried to do stuff like that when Stargate ended, and it just wasn't, you know, I did The Mentalist. Simon Baker still sends me hate letters. Simon Baker hates me. So I was a guest star in an episode of The Mentalist. The other guest star was Jay Acabone. We had no idea. So I see Jay Acabone's name on the call sheet. So I go over to the trailer, knock on the door, and it's reunion week for us. So we fell right back into that it was like a Stargate set. So we're laughing and joking and it's loud and then everyone stops talking. It's quiet. I was like, who the hell died? What's going on? Simon's coming to set. Why are you whispering? Because Simon likes it quiet. Why? So when he came, is that for me? Please wrap up.
Yeah, that is for you, unfortunately.
Oh, wait, but there's okay, let me finish the question. And so yeah, that's, so anyway, that's what's with the hair. I'm just gonna keep letting it grow. Bye, thank you. Yes, come on.
One more question. Great, okay, one more question, quick one.
Okay, you can't talk about this.
My name is Caitlin.
Caitlin?
My name is Caitlin.
What?
Caitlin, her name is Caitlin.
Oh, hi, Caitlin. You don't have time for all that, Caitlin. Just ask a question.
Injuries on set.
Have
you had any injuries on set?
Have I?
Had any injuries?
Injuries.
Have I had any injuries? You know, I've been pretty lucky so far outside of the normal just kind of bumps and bruises, burns. They have this stuff, the AB smoke. Okay, I'll make it quick. They have AB smoke. So they actually have to put this stuff on you, and then it smokes. But it's only for a limited time. So if they leave it on you too long, it burns you. I got burned a couple times. The tattoo, do you guys know that Michael Dorn sued Paramount because of the glue that they used for his prosthetics? Well, we used the same glue in the beginning. So it actually burned the tattoo into my forehead. Which I thought was horrible. So when I would leave set, I'd always have to wear hats and different kinds of stuff. And then the show started airing, and I was at a particular nighttime spot. And for whatever reason, I had forgotten my hat, my beanie, whatever it was, in my trailer. So I said, oh boy, well, I'm not gonna go all the way back to set. So I'll go in. So I had this burn thing, and I'm really self-conscious with this tattoo on my head, burned into my head. And so I'm kind of just sitting there, and these young ladies come up and say, oh, are you the guy from Stargate?